Hey, my name's Cayman. Sharks are awesome. They are one of two types of fish known as cartilaginous fish. Now, when compared to their counterpart, bony fish, they have some unique differences. The most notable is that sharks have cartilage and bony fish have, well, bones. Now, when you see a shark, it's hard to miss the fact that they have a lot of teeth, but they have way more than you may be aware of. Inside a shark's mouth, they have rows and rows of teeth that continuously grow outward as they lose teeth. It's like an endless conveyor belt of teeth. Now, each of these teeth is covered in fluoride, making them completely cavity resistant. Now, when compared to our teeth, once you lose your baby teeth, that's it. That's all you got. And our teeth are not covered in fluoride, so we still get cavities. Doesn't really seem that fair, now does it? Now, sharks, their teeth are modified scales. In fact, their whole body is covered in placoid scales. And these scales are often referred to as dermal denticles. Dermal meaning skin, and denticles meaning teeth. Skin teeth. Their body is literally covered in teeth. Now, interesting thing about these scales is that as a shark ages and matures, they grow more scales. This is most notable on a zebra shark. Now, if you've ever seen one of these sharks, you may wonder, why is it called a zebra shark when it has spots all over it? Well, when zebra sharks are young, they do have stripes, hence the name zebra. But as they grow older, those stripes will eventually separate because more scales are growing in between them. Now, there's a common misconception out there that sharks need to continuously swim to pump water through their gills. This isn't true. They are perfectly fine with staying on the bottom of the ocean floor, and they can open and close their mouths to pump water through their gills. But it is important for them to swim for a different reason. Sharks have a large oily liver. It can take up between 5 to 25% of their total body weight. And because oil is less dense than water, that liver gives them buoyancy, which will help them stay afloat, but it's not perfect. If a shark stops swimming, they will slowly sink down to the bottom. So, a cool adaptation they have is their caudal fin has a much larger lobe that when they swim, their head will be forced in the upward direction to keep them buoyant. Another reason they need to keep swimming around is that because sharks have a low blood pressure, that blood needs to get around more. So to help with this is the muscle movements in the shark will help the blood continuously flow throughout their entire body. Speaking of blood, sharks are cold-blooded. The more correct term is ectothermic, which means they are unable to regulate their body temperature. They're completely dependent on their surroundings. Now, as you sit in your chair right now, you are losing a lot of heat from your body. But if you were in water, you'll lose even more heat because water has a much higher heat capacity and draws that heat away from you faster. Sharks don't have that problem because they don't control their temperature. They're dependent on their surroundings. They save a lot of energy being ectothermic. Even though sharks are great at conserving energy, they need to get it somehow, and what better way to do that than hunting for fish? Now, when they do this, sometimes their prey will be a little feisty and bite back, and the most common target is the shark's eye. Now, the sharks have a really cool adaptation. They have a nictitating membrane. This is an extra eyelid that will close shut to protect the eye. Now, when a shark does this, they have a slight problem. They can't see, but they can detect their prey around them using a really awesome adaptation called the ampullae of Lorenzini. These are small pores located around the mouth, the nose, and the eye, and these pores detect electrical signals that are emitted from the muscle contractions of the prey surrounding the shark. And sharks can even feel the pressure of the water around them using their lateral line. such as the pressure made when a fish swims by. All these teeth, all these adaptations for hunting, they make sharks sound scary, don't they? And even if you've seen a movie like Jaws, it portrays sharks as being these man-eating machines that should not be trusted. And if you watch news, shark attacks are covered extensively. But these news stories don't really portray the truth very well. For example, in the year 2001, Time magazine declared it the year of the shark. There were 4 fatalities. Now, 4 fatalities are nothing to make light of. But the year before, the news was very quiet, even though there were 11 fatalities. Now, sharks are not what you should fear. There are way more scary things out there. For example, your bed. You're more likely to die from falling out of your bed than being touched by a shark. You are more likely to die from a vending machine. And believe it or not, you, in your lifetime, are more likely to get killed by a stampede of cows. That's right, cows. But now some of these shark attacks, we're the ones to blame. We're continuously encroaching on their habitat, making more space for us and less space for them. And also, some popular vacation spots, they will chum the waters to attract more sharks, to attract more people. Doesn't really make sense. Now, while all these misconceptions and fears of sharks may seem rather humorous, they're actually a big problem for sharks. They're blinding the public eye from seeing the problems that sharks are facing in the ocean. Mass overfishing is happening, making less fish available for sharks to feed on. And sharks are often hunted for their fins to make shark fin soup, which in some countries is considered a delicacy and is highly sought after. Some people believe that the cartilage is a joint nutrient that will help treat arthritis, but this has been scientifically proven to be wrong, but people still believe that. But the most depressing part of all this is that over 100 million sharks are killed every single year. And unfortunately, this number could be an underestimate. Populations are dying, species are becoming extinct. But despite all this depressing news, there is still time to fix this problem. And you can help too. If you'd like to eat fish, check where it's from. Make sure it comes from a sustainable source. And also, donating to a conservation fund can be very beneficial. There's some great ones out there. For example, the SeaWorld and Busch Gardens Fund is a great organization. They do a lot to help the world. But the best thing you can do right now is go out, spread the word, and tell people about sharks. And above all else, remember this. Sharks are pretty awesome. I hope you have a fantastic day, and thanks for watching.